20 feet below the surface at this point. We call these cave clouds. The cave clouds, selenite crystal.
That's cool.
It's a geode.
Oh, nice.
We have an average temperature of 56 to 6 degrees all year round. Right now we are resting at 60 degrees. This cavern was discovered back in 1927 by a gentleman. His name was Walter Peck, and he used to work for the Santa Fe Railway as a woodcutter. Well, Walter was on his way to a poker game to meet his poker buddies along with his brother Miles at Seligman. Walter got a late start that afternoon, so he decided to take the shortcut across the desert when there happened to be a monsoon rainstorm. He and his horse were galloping at a fast rate of speed. They could not see where they were going. When all of a sudden Walter's horse put on the brakes and Walter almost fell out of the saddle. Walter got off his horse, tied it to a tree, noticed a 9-foot sinkhole that his horse did not want to jump. When Walter looked down the hole, he saw 2 saddles along with bones, but he couldn't figure out why the water wasn't filling up the hole. Well, Walter got back onto his horse, continued onto his poker game, told all of his poker buddies along with his brother Miles what he had found. They came back the next day with a 100-foot rope, a handful of matches, and a lantern. They lowered Walter down the 9-foot sinkhole, which is now known as Walter's natural entrance. When Walter was lowered down, guess what he found? Diamonds. Not a bad find for VLHO poker game.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Those are real diamonds.
Diamonds in the rough.
Wow.
Just like you find your golf ball in the rough.
So how much would that beast be be worth?
How much would that be worth? Hey, I have no idea.
I don't
I have no
know.
idea.
Millions.
Millions of dollars. You're not kidding, yeah. Probably about 345 million of
Don't
dollars.
touch it.
Oh my
That
God.
diamonds, yeah, isn't that amazing? Hey, you know what else he found down here? He found silver.
Oh, there's silver right there, yeah.
Silver.
It sure is.
And you know what else he found down here? Gold on the ceiling. Yes, we call that Walter's gold. All in one spot. Amazing, isn't it?
That's crazy.
That was in 1927.
1927.
I'd say he hit the jackpot.
I would think so too. Well, guess what? Every time I'm down in the caverns, I feel like a pirate. Remember pirates eat their lunch and dinner at Arby's. And I'm going to show what Walter really did find. We're going this way. All you tall people need a duck. We have a low ceiling.
Where's that Walter's entrance?
Oh yeah, watch your head. I don't need to duck. Whoa. It's huge.
Where's that Walter's entrance?
Whoa.
Way the heck back there. We're going to see it. All right, folks, get stabilized. I'm going to show you something that's really cool. Our Caverns Grotto. This is our downstairs restaurant. We opened this up August 15th of 2017. What you do is you make reservations in the restaurant up above. You pay for your meal up there. They'll set you down or order anything off the Grotto menu. It is $59.95 plus tax per person. My brother-in-law Mike and I built this. And
Really?
we met Mike upstairs.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, we did this.
Great. We ate there last night.
Oh, did you?
Sweet, yeah.
You guys, I know it's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys didn't cave in for your food, did you? Hey, I guess you guys had a craving for your food. Channel 3 News has been here already. They had lunch down here.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
Scott,
That's why I
no,
watch
Scott doesn't
the,
go out.
YouTube.
Probably me is here.
This is crazy. I love stuff like this.
345 million years ago, the whole Southwest was covered by the ancient ocean. This happened during the Mississippian era. When the ocean receded, we ended up with cave coral.
Whoa.
That is known as a coral reef. Now, this is all dead sea life, which creates lime, calcium carbonate deposits, and limestone. Very popular around Christmas time. Do you know why? This coral sings Christmas corals. Wah, wah. When the ocean was coming through here, it had a little bit of acid mixed in with water, creating all this acid etching. We call this the Chapel of the Ages because of the cathedral dome ceiling. We are 206 feet below the surface, largest known deposit of selenite crystals. Now, we are the third world's largest dry cavern. China is number 1, Sweden is number 2, we are number 3. If you look right above you, folks, we have stalactites. We are no longer growing anymore, and it takes about 10,000 years to grow 1 inch of stalactite. The one I have my laser pointing around, we figure that's about 7 inches in length, so you're looking at 70,000 years of growth right there. We are standing in a 70,000-year-old dry cavern. This cavern total length is 130 yards from wall to wall, 100 to 200 feet across. This is a limestone, sandstone water tube that we're standing in.
Was the cavern, did they have to remove a lot of debris and dirt from this cavern to make it this size?
Oh no, this is all natural.
It's all natural.
They did all, when they did
They
the
had
concrete
to add
work,
to
they
make
had to
walkway.
take all the concrete, or all the rock off the side to get the concrete in here. Over here, we have stalagmite, cave onyx, and flowstone, or what I call it just dried up mud. Looks like mud, doesn't it? Very popular on May 10th. Do you know why? It was Mudder's Day. And this all created from the stalactite stripping down onto the ocean floor, creating all stalagmites to grow up, and that is a good way to remember. Stalagmites might go towards the ceiling, stalactites tight to the ceiling. Underneath our flowstone, our gemstone, that's our cave onyx right there. See my red light? My laser? That's our onyx. Mud creates onyx, go figure. Cathedral Dome, 90 feet above the trail. This was an ancient waterway at one time. Now our composite up above is clay and dirt, so whenever we have a monsoon rainstorm, the clay acts as a sponge. It soaks up all the water. We do not get any water down here at all. It takes so much to transport the ancient ocean to bring the water down this way. It's the weight of the water.
Was there any water in here when you guys discovered it?
When Walter Peck found it, no, it was all dry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
What happened to him?
I was a season ticket holder in San Diego for 35 years. And when I came to LA, they wouldn't allow us to transfer.
Are you serious?
I said, screw you guys. I'm not going to stay with you.
That's crazy,
Where
man.
sent me after that.
So, I mean, they have this other guy now. What's his name?
I'm
Hubert-
not even following.
Hubert-
I'm not watching
Herbert,
them
whatever
follow
his name is. Yeah,
So
I like
mad
Bill Rivers, so. Hey, guess what, folks? This is known as Walter Peck's mining project. He mined all this out by himself, looking for his diamonds, his silver, and his gold.
Did you get much out of there?
Well, Walter took his findings to the assessor's office in Phoenix, but he couldn't wait 2 weeks for the returns to come back. So back in 1927, Walter Peck decided to buy all the 800 acres up above for a mere price of 20 cents an acre. Now, the reason why Walter did this, he didn't want his poker buddies or his brother Mouse to chunk claim on him. When Walter did get his returns back, the silver that he thought he found, that's just a low grade of tin or considerite. It isn't worth anything. Do you know what I call it? I call it lever rice, because you just want a lever right there. The diamonds that he thought he found, selenite crystals, again, they are not worth anything. Now, Walter Peck had one more chance to make it rich. Yes, Walter's gold on the ceiling. Well, you know what that is? That's oxide of iron or just rust or iron oxide. Again, it isn't worth anything. Poor Walter said to himself, well, how? That means hollow. That teacup handle is as hollow as a straw. If you were to touch it, it would just disintegrate, turn to powder, dust, and glitter. It is formed by water, by the way. This is known as a gypsum flour. This is what they make gypsum board out of, drywall.
Oh, wow.
Please watch your elbows and shoulders on the right-hand side. You
Make
can
it
see red
tight.
markings on the pathway. These are known as drip hazards. Ones that are marked with a stripe are known as a drip hazard. Going up on stage, I have a few little story Jerry folks. What equipment are you guys using? Harleys?
No, something better. BMWs.
Oh, nice.
You like that?
There you go. Well, guess what?
This
folks?
camera's
We
really
had
good.
several moments on the stage you are standing on. Our very first one was April 14th of 1977. He worked as a chef in a restaurant. She worked in the curio shop. They both fell in love. They wanted to get married down here. People asked them, why in the heck do you want to get married down here in the middle of nowhere? They said they want to start their marriage off on a rock solid foundation and not a rocky start. So guess what they did? They left their bouquet.
Oh,
Wow. Yes, you can still see some of the red in the roses, some of the green in the leaves. Now the reason why I'm showing you this, that nothing will live down here except us humans. You probably won't even see a bat, a snake, a mouse, a lizard, a rat, or anything crawling on the floor. Not even an insect flying through the air because we are such a dry cavern. There's nothing to eat and nothing to drink. Everything's going to be well preserved. These are bouquets from several other weddings after that one down here.
What year was that original wedding?
That one right there in 1977.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? And that is the bridal veil from the 1977 wedding as well. In October of 2012, we had a Halloween wedding down here. That is part of her costume right there. Still trying to figure out what part of the costume that is.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go through our second man-made tunnel. It's a 160-foot tunnel. It took 40 cases of dynamite to blast this tunnel out and 2 years on top of it to do it. Low ceilings, tall people need to duck. A 6% incline towards the end of our trek. Please use a handrail to pull yourself up. Well, guess what we're going to look like when we get up there? We're going to look like mufflers. Do you know why? We're going to be exhausted.
I love those dad jokes.
The which ones?
Dad jokes. We're gonna be exhausted. Duck.
Thank God I took those to leave.
Wow.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Amazing.
Yeah. Did they have to blast all this out as well, or just the
Nope,
tunnel?
this is just that one.
How did they just blast, oh, look what we found?
No, these are with the radar system.
Wow, okay.
They found this was the shortest route to find this cavern. This is the one that Walter Peck was lowered down into.
Oh, wow.
How's everybody doing so far? We all good?
good,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
good.
not to my heart.
So this is all the cement, or what is this?
This is fallout shelter. Back in October 1962, our late President John F. Kennedy declared all caverns as fallout shelters. This is the result of the Cuban Missile Crisis / the Cold War. We have U.S. government food, saltine crackers and candy, 17.5 gallons of stagnant water. In 2012, the new owners decided to bring all this bottled water down here. Medical kit's been down here since October of 1962, and a sanitation kit, which is a toilet seat on an empty barrel. This cabin will hold 2,000 people, but guess what, folks? You get to share 4 rolls of toilet paper. Welcome to COVID-19.
Yeah, really.
They're all in the medical kits, by the way. Now, this cabin will hold 2,000 people, but the food rations they see right here will only last about 2 weeks. If there was a war going on upstairs, all the electricity would be blown out along with our emergency generator. It gets totally dark in here. You cannot see the hand in front of your face. You will literally go blind. With 2,000 people in here, be known as touchy-feely. Guess what the government forgot to supply down here? Flashlights, lanterns, candles, batteries, and matches. But I know our cell phones have flashlights in them as well, but once they die, there's no way you can be able to recharge them. Now, Zach Bagans of Ghost Adventures, he opened up one of these containers of saltine crackers, and he ate one of the saltine crackers. I had the opportunity of eating one of the crackers myself. I held the saltine cracker in my hand, I broke it broke evenly. I ate a 50-year-old saltine cracker. It tastes like a saltine cracker with a slight bit of mustiness to it. I just wish I would have brought some squeezies with me, maybe some peanut butter to enhance the flavor. Now, if we take that saltine cracker and expose it to the outside air, it will take 4 hours for that saltine cracker to turn to cardboard. That shows you how fresh and how dry everything is down here. Everything that you see right here, folks, in the crackers and candy and the medical kits, what's in the showcase right behind me? Before we get going on that, we had a wedding down here in the middle of October. That's where you see all this. Why in the heck would they want a wedding down here in the fallout shelter? Maybe it was because it was a bomb of a wedding. Well, I hope they're still married. I hope it hasn't fallen out yet. Anyway, when you go by, take a nice close look, and please watch your head and shoulders on its rock cremation.
Where's all the air coming from here, or is it just natural?
I'll show you. I'll show you where they think it's coming from.
Oh.
We know we're getting it down the elevator shaft.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't give you guys a shaft either.
How many visitors a year do you get here?
We get 60,000 people coming through here a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we because of pandemic, it's shut us down.
Yeah.
So our tour buses don't come in anymore because of that, and we used to get a lot of field trips from schools, which was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Well, the elections are over. It'll come back. Real
I
quick.
think it'll come back really quick. Yeah.
It's already starting.
Sorry.
No, you're
In
fine.
Arizona, come on, if Biden really win here, come on.
I'm having a hard time believing in flu.
We're from California.
I've lived there. I've lived in Arizona.
Well, we were blaming it
for
on
50
Californians
years.
moving here.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
that's what they're saying, but I
there's
still
not that
don't
many.
buy it.
I don't
I
believe
don't
it.
buy it.
What do you think?
What?
That Biden won here.
In Arizona.
Hey, we're a blue state now, not a red one.
Eh,
You know, I'm looking
I
at
don't
a
buy
blue
it.
state,
Never
so
seen a
you know.
Biden flag anyway.
So you guys
I know,
can't
same.
knock us anymore.
That was a big joke. Like, we turned into California. Weed's legal. We're a blue state. You know.
Is weed legal here now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just got
it
voted.
passed.
Yeah, it passed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys are California.
Right,
too.
right.
Yeah, we are getting
It's
more
time to move
liberal.
back to California.
You guys just moved out here, you said?
No,
No,
I said I lived here forever and it's always been a red state, you know.
Yeah. Well, guess what else is missing down there besides flashlights, lanterns, candles, batteries, and matches? Cots, blankets, and pillows.
Yeah.
I guess that. Welcome to Snowball Palace. Yes, we call these snowballs, cave clouds, cauliflower, roast marshmallow, even popcorn. The reason why I asked you folks were not touching any White Rock formations is back in 1927, Walter Peck said, go ahead and touch everything. You're seeing 40 years of touching on this wall. It acts as a sponge and soaks up most of the oil and acid out of our hands. That's why you can see the discoloration. Well, back in 1927, Walter Peck didn't have a luxury called flashlight. He had a kerosene lantern. And you are seeing kerosene lantern soot and smoke on here as well. This is a form of gypsum that you find in drywall, concrete, and in chalk.
They make a tile out of that, gypsum tile.
Do they make a lot of tile out of it?
Yeah.
Look at this. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It
Wow,
almost
look at
looks
that.
like chrysocolla, which is from inside of a rock.
Calcium deposits through that selenite crystal. Hey, guess what this is? This is our 50-foot tunnel. It just goes 50 feet back. But when the ocean was receding, water had to go somewhere, so it went back down through the cracks of the Grand Canyon wall to the Colorado Aquifer, which is 600, 800 feet below us. We have running water below us, by the way.
Crystal clear.
It should, yeah, probably is.
Whoa. Oh, there's dead people down there.
Welcome to the mystery room. It is 318 feet below the surface right down there. Now the reason why we call this mystery room is this is where we think we are getting our air supply through the cracks of the Grand Canyon wall 65 miles away from here. And it takes 2 weeks for the air supply to reach this point. It's all done by barometric pressure and it's all filtered by all this limestone. That's why we could breathe it. Now, theory has it, we brought this out with so much red smoke, you cannot see that back wall back there. We sent people up above to find out where the red smoke was going. They waited all day long. They had to go home. The sun was setting. They never saw any red smoke at all. We get a call 2 weeks later from the Sioux by Native Americans. Why is there red smoke coming out of the cracks of the Grand Canyon wall? That is 65 miles away from here. That's just one theory. Our second theory is there was a military helicopter flying over the Grand Canyon when he saw red smoke coming out of the cracks as well. He reported it as a fire. We have no recollection of us finding this out with so much red smoke. What does red smoke have in it? It has red dye. What does smoke do? It dissipates and goes back down into the surface. So all those rocks down there would be coated in red dye. Now we do know we are getting our air supply through the elevator shaft. It's either going out to ancient waterways or 50-foot tunnel or the mystery room. It takes so much force of air to blow that 65 miles. We do not have that resource. However, we have caverns that come out here twice a year and they call this a big dig. This is their mining project. They've been working on this project for many, many years. They are still mystified. They cannot figure this out. But what we do is we supply with a helmet that has a light on it, give you guys elbow pads, knee pads, and gloves, and you go down there with a tour guide. We call this the Explorer Tour / Wild Tour. This is a 2.5 hour to 3 hour tour, and it goes way back there, 3/4 of a mile back, and it descends up to 78 feet below the surface. A lot of hiking involved in this tour, by the way. Oh, by the way, did you see our 2 tour guides?
Yeah.
I named him Red Skeleton. That's Dr. Bones McCoy from the Starship Enterprise. For Bones, we got 3 inch communicator with them, so the Starship left him down here. Anybody want to go down there and tickle a rib or touch a funny bone? What do you mean I do not have any undertakers? Oh, by the way, you guys, that's part of our skeleton crew. And you know what? They just came off their graveyard shift. Well, you're going to see red markings on the pathway. These are known as safety issues. These are slip hazards. Please do not stand on these. You will slip and fall. You'll see those on the web Bobcat Trail. Safety issue right there. Watch yourself. Use the strips on a floor for traction. Please use the handrail.
Shouldn't have left my jacket on.
Huh?
Shouldn't have brought this.
Ah, modified Bobcat. Wow.
Amazing, huh?
Wow. What?
Hey, there's a bat right there too, isn't there?
Yeah, that's a bat. You got that right.
1850.
Look at that bat.
So we got down in here and got lost. And
You got lost.
Shitty way to go.
What year's that? Oh, that 1850. What? Okay, what's this one?
Guess where we found Robert? On eBay. Oh yeah, it's amazing what you can find on eBay these days. Yeah, he did. He came out to us in the weirdest way in the taxi cab of all things. You guys know what the taxi cab driver's name is? Dermy. He was taxidermied. Very beautiful animal, and I like where I place him because look at the shadow he creates when I get my flashlight down low. Look at that. And it's like his shadow wants to plunge at you guys, so watch out. He's trying to make a move. Only the shadow knows. Then Robert doesn't talk to me anymore. You know why? Cat's got his tongue. All right, hey, guess what we have coming up? We have a red mark right here, so watch your step. Our elevator holds 2,500-pound load capacity. You can actually see the top of it, even the fall shelter. Use the strips on the floor for protection. Please use a handrail. You're welcome. Look at all that supply, you guys. Labor intense. Now, I don't see the laborers anymore. The tents are all packed up. They must have left.
So sea rations in the cans?
Those are the actually water. 150 pounds of water in each barrel. I don't think so. Pretty amazing, huh?
Stale.
Say what?
It might be
Brought
stale.
everything through the elevator?
Say what?
He brought all this,
Yeah, it came down the elevator. October 1962 is when John F. Kennedy declared all caverns as fallout shelters. This is all 1963 supply. I went down there and explored it. It's all stamped with 1963 on it.
There's a couple handprints on it
These are
too.
crash test dummies right here.
I'm
The
sorry?
barrels of water are the crash test dummies. Yeah.
Oh,
You said how many people would use it?
2,000 people for 2 weeks. That's as long as the supply's gonna last, for 2 weeks. 2,000 people. All right, folks, please watch your head and shoulders. Stay to the left.
I don't know, how many people lived up here back then?
Not many.
So you probably had 2 months.
But they would probably send people here.
By then, they lived long. No, I'm going down here. I'll go too far. It's all World War III.
Of the 2 caverns, this is our largest one. This is 260 yards. If we were to play a game of football in here, we have to do something with all these supplies and do some of these rocks. The only thing we cannot do, we can't throw Hail Marys or punts because of low ceilings. Now, I thought I found a petroglyph down here, which is known as a Native American painting. He's in the shape of a horse, and you can actually see the horse's head. There's his mane, his body, and his tail. The one back leg is right there, the other back leg's over there, and his 2 front legs are crossed. That is oxide of iron, or just rust, an abundance of iron ore in that rock formation created by the ancient ocean 345 million years ago, which has salt water, a little bit of acid, creating that acid etching. Mother Nature can sure paint. All right, folks, we're about ready to saddle up and giddy up and get out of here. Hey, guess what we have? We have a low ceiling coming up. All you tall people need to duck. Two nests, except for here, so you watch your foot in, 2 boys, they create great hazard. Welcome to Huh?
That's where it came down, huh?
Welcome, no, it's up there. Welcome to Mammoth Domes, 142 feet above the trail, 92 feet to the first shelf. When the ocean was receding, going through the ancient waterways, our 50-foot tunnel and our mist room is creating agitation. Just like in your wash machine, that's why you see the smooth rock formation right up above. The red rock that you see up there is oxide of iron or just rust, and that's what all this is, iron oxide. Well, folks, do you see what I see? I see 2 whales' tails. There's a whale's tail right there and another one right there.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't find those on a fluke either. Natural rock formation created by the ancient ocean. Well, speak about whale, we have one more humping over, and it's not a whale. Are you ready? Here we go.
Oh my God, Bigfoot. Oh, it's a bear. Oh.
There's a toothpick in there. There it is, through the plastic.
Oh yeah.
That's how they mined all this out. I bet you're all wondering, why the heck did Dino bring you guys up here? Welcome to the construction site. You're probably wondering, how the heck did they get all the cement down there to pour the concrete sidewalks? Hey, guess what? I'm going to show you how they did this. Back in 1957, Grandpa Reensby, the owner of the Reensby Trucking Company, had no way of getting any cement mixing equipment down here because the elevator shaft wasn't quite completed. They did something very ingenious. They bored a 68-foot shaft, did all their cement mixing up above, poured it down the shaft. You can still see some of the cement on the side wall right here, into the sleuth box. We call this a sleuth box. This is where all the cold cement was gathered. The laborers would put their wheelbarrows right here. This door would slide right up and all flow into the wheelbarrows.
Wow.
Pretty ingenious, don't you think?
Yeah.
So they didn't put pipes in, right? A pipe, they just poured it down.
They drilled it and poured it down.
Okay.
How
Yeah,
long is that?
68 feet.
Wow.
It's a 68
So we went
foot
from
shaft.
210 up to
We're up to
68?
68 feet right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty amazing, huh?
I'm in better
That explains why I'm out of breath, okay?
I'm gonna tell my wife I'm okay.
The oxygen content's probably low down here too.
This construction, they did something very ingenious themselves. They split their team in half. So 10 of them worked from Snowball Palace in this direction, and another team of 10 worked from the elevator shaft in this direction. The reason why they did that is that when they were done pouring concrete that day, they had to flood this tube out with so much water to keep this tube clear. Where does the water have to go? Right down through here. So if this was the first pour, all this would get washed away. Now, it does take sunlight to cure all this because we do not have that down here. They had used a special chemical, which they mixed it with the cement back in 1957, called catalyst, along with a little bit of lime, creating a chemical reaction called heat. You will find those bags at your local hardware store. They call it quick crete and quick set. What you have to do is empty your dry bag of cement into a wheelbarrow, mix it up with water, and go on with your project. Not a concrete contractor on my turn asked me, Dino, do you know how many yards of cement they use down here? I said, I have no idea, but I can tell they use 3/4 of a mile of it. He asked me, do you know what the thickness is? I said, roughly about 2 inches. He calculated in his head 30,000 85-pound bags of cement was used to pour the sidewalks. I hope that was a concrete figure, but go ahead and cement that in your brain. 5 years of construction. We started in 1957. We opened up in 1962. Well, guess what, folks? Because it is so close to Thanksgiving, I found a turkey down here. And why does everybody keep looking at me like that? I'll show you where he is.